Okay, everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week we're back for another recipe, and we are doing a chicken salad sandwiches. Okay, but we're going to start right from bare bones. All right, let me run down these ingredients for you guys just so you know exactly what I'm using. But listen, any of these ingredients over here, as far as your dry ingredients, you can use whatever you want, really. This is just the way that I set this up for what I'm using it for. So I'm not going to actually eat this chicken as a meal with like roasted potatoes and carrots and things like that. I'm actually making this into sandwiches. Okay? So, having said that, we're going to get going here. So I have a full chicken that I am actually going to put on my rotisserie here. I'll show you how I set that up. We have some olive oil here. We're going to make the rub with the olive oil, the black pepper. We've got some salt. We have some paprika here, about a tablespoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of onion powder. We also have some oregano, half a teaspoon, and a half a teaspoon of thyme, and a half a teaspoon of sage. That's it for this, okay? The rotisserie is going to do most of the work. The reason why I'm using my rotisserie today is because I want this to be extremely juicy. Okay, we're going to cook this to about 160, and then we're going to take it out, let it rest, let it cool down for a little bit, and then we're going to cut it. We're going to dismantle this or dismember it, however you want to say it, butcher it. I know people make fun of me when I use certain terminology, but that's what we're going to do with this. And then we're going to we're only using the breast on this, okay? So we're not using the legs and wings. The legs and wings are going to be for another meal that I'm doing. But chicken salad sandwich, I personally only use the breast meat. So that's what we're concentrating on today. That's what we're going to use. Okay, let me push a little bit of this aside. One more thing, make sure you wash your chicken very well. Drain it, rub it, cold water, rinse the cavity inside, pat it with a paper towel. You don't want a lot of moisture on this because then the skin won't become crispy, okay? I'm not real concerned if it doesn't get crispy because I'm not serving this as a dinner. I'm going to be extracting the white meat out of this for, like I said, for sandwiches. So, that's what I'm doing with this. Oh, and the other thing is you're going to need a little bit of butcher twine. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to tie the legs up, and we're just going to put a piece of string for the wings so they don't hit as they go around inside the rotisserie. All right, let me get some of this out of the way. Bring a bowl in, and we'll start the rub. We'll rub this down, and we'll get it in the rotisserie. We'll start cooking this. This should take just about 6 pounds, 5.5 to 6 pounds. This should take anywhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours. I know if I stuff these with like potatoes and carrots and stuff like that, it does take about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. So maybe an hour and a half, but we'll give you a more accurate time on that as soon as this is done. Okay, be right back. All right, so here we go with our rub, okay? This is all, you've heard me say this in other recipes that I do. This is just dump and run. Once everything's weighed out, that's all you really need. So we're going to dump in the paprika. We're going to dump in the oregano. We're going to dump in the sage. We're going to dump in all of our ingredients. And we're going to dump in the onion powder. Okay, and we're going to put in a pinch of salt. And we're going to put in a pinch of pepper. Okay? That's it. That's all we're going to do with this. We are going to use a whisk for this. Now, I don't know offhand how much oil I'm going to use until I'm done. You kind of got to eye this. You don't want it real wet. You don't want it really dry. So we're just going to add as much as I think I'm going to need right now. Mix it up a little bit. This looks like there's a lot going in. In theory, there's really not. That was probably a tablespoon, believe it or not. Okay, so mopping over the shoulder, a little bit of a whisk. Yeah, see, I can already tell we're going to need we're going to need more oil. Just like this. Okay. Then we're going to mix this up. Okay, a little bit more. Now it doesn't look like a lot, but this is definitely enough for this chicken. Now, if I was doing, I'm going to just throw a little bit more in here. So I'm going to say that was probably, I don't know, maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, that's it, just like this. Very simple. Okay. Okay, so that is our rub mixture. Sorry about that. I'm trying to find my towel over here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set this aside. We're going to get working on this chicken. Now I put the chicken on a paper towel because if there was any more moisture on it from rinsing it off, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't going to be a ton of water in it. So make sure you drain this and make sure you pat this dry as well with a paper towel. Okay. All right. So you could do this 1 or 2 ways. You know, you guys see me cook before, so I'm just going to use my hands here. You want to use a brush, use a brush. It doesn't matter what way you do it, as long as you get it on there. Okay. And make sure you give it a nice little massage like this. All right, I'm going to continue to do this, and I'll bring you guys back with me as soon as I'm done basting this up here. Okay. All right. We'll see you in a second. Okay, so I'm back. So I got done seasoning it, and I did tie it up as well. You can see over here that I tied the legs up, and then I tied the wings up over here. I put it on the rod, and now we're ready to go. So I'm going to do this we're going to start it in an hour. It's probably going to take somewhere up to, I don't know, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, somewhere around there. So this is what we got. We're going to let it spin for that long. Okay, I will be back with you guys as soon as this is done. Okay, so I just wanted to bring you guys back and show you what this looks like now at this point. It's been about 55 minutes in the rotisserie. You can see how juicy this is. Look at all the juices running from this. It's getting nice and brown, and we still have more time on this, but just wanted to let you guys see how much juice comes off this. And this is why I like to do a rotisserie chicken when it comes to a chicken salad, because you know, all that juice is constantly getting basted under the skin. You know, you can see how much juice that's on the bottom of the tray. It's coming good. We got some more time on this, but we're doing this nice and slow. We're doing it you know, we're doing it the way that I feel it's supposed to be done. So we're going to let this hang out in here for a little longer, and we're going to let this self-baste itself. And if you've never had a rotisserie chicken, which I'm assuming most people have, this is going to be a great meal. This is an awesome meal. We're going to cook the chicken to about 160, somewhere around there, and then we're going to pull it. Okay, guys, we'll be back with you guys in a little while after this is pulled from the rotisserie. Okay, guys, so this bird now had just come out of the rotisserie. Look at what we got here, huh? How gorgeous. How beautiful is that bird? Okay. All right, so this now is going to sit here. I'm going to clip the strings, and this is just going to literally, I could just feel it. It's literally going to just fall apart, okay? So this is kind of like, you know, how it comes out. If I was using this for something else other than chicken salad, I would be leaving this in there a little bit longer, but I would stuff the cavity with basically like, you know, potatoes or carrots or something like that. All right. And that would make the skin a little bit more crispier. Now, like I said, I'm only using these 2 strips of meat right here, this breast and this breast. The wings And the legs I'm going to use for one meal for that and another meal for this. And then I'm just going to use the breast for the chicken salad. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to let this sit here for probably about 10 or 15 minutes. I am going to put a sheet of aluminum foil over the top just to give the chance for the juices to soak back into the chicken, which I don't really think this one needs it. This seems to be very, very juicy. But we're going to do that anyways. As soon as this cools down, I am going to show you how to dismember this. Or butcher it up, whatever phrase you choose to use. We're going to pull this apart, and then I'm going to show you how I shred the chicken, and we'll get on to the next step into actually making the chicken salad. But this is the first step. It's done about an hour and a half on rotisserie setting. All right, so we'll be right back in probably about 10-15 minutes. Okay, so I let this chicken sit for about 15-20 minutes. Now, it is still really hot. The only thing I did was pull the rod out of it from the rotisserie. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I turn around and do this. And there's other ways of doing it, so it doesn't mean that just because I'm doing it this way that this is the right way to do it. Everybody's got their thing. Everybody does it the way they want to do it, which is a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I break this down. Okay, so we're just going to remove the string now, just like this. Okay, and that's garbage. Okay, so we're going to start by leaving the legs and the wings on. Okay, I do that because if you take the legs and the wings underneath off, then the carcass actually will rock quite a bit when you go to cut the breast meat off, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a boning knife. This is just what I use. This is a Victorinox boning knife. Love this knife a lot. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to cut right down. If you feel right directly in the center, you're going to feel a bone. Okay, so if you turn around and you take your knife and you cut, and you'll feel it if you just follow the bone down just like this. Okay, now some people may disagree with the way I'm cutting this up. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. Now we got the one side just like this, okay? And this is our one breast. Now this is very, I don't know if you guys can make this out or not, but I'm kind of hoping you can. I don't know if look at how juicy that is, okay? That's why I like using rotisserie chicken for my chicken salad. Makes all the wonders doing that. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, we're just going to follow that bone just like this. And like I said, you'll feel it, and then you'll see it all. You just move your knife over and it's all right there. Right? Okay, so pretty simple way. And then I just break it right here at the, not break it, but I just cut it here, and then this whole piece just like this, right around that bone down there. Okay, and here's our second piece. Okay, all right, and now we're just gonna, for me it's a little bit easier to break the rest of this down now at this point. Okay, so you just get right down into the carcass and you'll feel where the bone comes in half, right? And then we're just breaking this down. Same thing on this side. I don't know how much I'm trying to do the best I can here. I'm usually not cutting or butchering in a backwards fashion, and that's the difficult part there. Okay, so you'll see it's this knot right here. This joint is the joint that you're breaking in there, and you're getting your knife in between that, and you're just pushing. You're just kind of doing this, and it'll come right off for you. Okay, so there's our 2 legs. And now we're just, let me see how simple. And then over here, you can flip it around if you'd like. And then just right here, you're going to have another bone right here. And then you're just going to get in the middle of it. And that's it. Voila. And there's your wing. Okay, so we're just going to plate this over here. And this is what I was talking about. See how you just have the carcass there now? And if you try to turn around and take all the breast meat off, you might have a little bit of a problem. Okay, there's your other wing, there's your flat, there's your drumstick. I will pick this clean. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. That's how you break a chicken down. You shouldn't have much more left after the breakdown. Okay, no, not a mental breakdown either, just a breakdown. So, and this here is what we now have over here. See? You got your 2 breasts, you got your 2 legs, and you got your 2 wings. And that's the breakdown. I'll get a little bit more meat off this. Probably not much, but I will get a little bit. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how I shred this, and I'll show you on the back side here where this tenderloin is. There's a tenderloin, see? That sits right inside this right here, see? And it doesn't take much to get that out. The only thing you got to remember is there's a membrane right here. See? It's this little membrane that you probably should be taking that out, because it's very, very hard to chew that. See this right here? Take that. That's garbage. We don't eat that. Okay, so I'll be back to show you how I break these down, shred these up. I'm going to pick that carcass a little bit more cleaner, get some more yield off this, and we'll be back. We'll go on to the next step of making this awesome chicken salad. This is how we do this here. I always do my chicken salad like this. Oh, and don't forget, you don't have to do it like this if you don't want to. You want to buy a store-bought rotisserie chicken? Feel free. This is fresh. You can choose your own chicken. You can cook it to whatever temperature you want. It's not sitting in a bag under a heater. That's just how I do it. You want to buy it in a bag? Feel free to. But this is what we got going on today. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, so here we go on shredding these chicken breasts. Okay, now you've seen me. I took out this is the tenderloin, right? This sits right inside the chicken breast, just like that. Right? Look at how juicy. Look at how juicy this is. I mean, and that's what's going to make your chicken salad like the best that it possibly can be. Like I said, just make sure you take out that little membrane, that connective tissue right there, and you're all set, basically. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna show you how I shred this. This is not a big deal. It's just you're just pulling. It's just like this is all I do. Now, other people might do this a little bit differently, but I find that this is probably the easiest. This is probably the easiest way to do this. Right, there we go. See, now it's all shredded. Okay, and it pulls apart so easy because it's on. I mean, it's cooked to 160. I cooked this to about 162. So it's very soft, and this does an amazing job. If you guys like chicken salad, I would definitely give this recipe a shot, no doubt. Okay, if you see anything in there, pick it out. Sometimes towards the end of the breast over here, you'll get a little bit of toughness. Okay, so that's it, and we do the same thing to the tenderloin, right? Or you can snack on that. It's up to you. But we're trying to yield about 2.5 cups of chicken, which we will definitely get. Okay, so let me just show you guys one more time here about this tenderloin. Now, if you see this arc right here, okay, it's like a little cavity. Okay, I'm going to try to pull this out with my finger. I definitely think it comes right out. Yep. Okay, see? just like that. So when you go to the store and you're buying tenderloins, look familiar? That's what you're getting. That's where it's located, okay? And this one's perfect to show you guys. See this little piece of which looks like skin? It's a little bit of membrane right here. Make sure you take that off. Just like that. It'll come right off. You see, it's coming right off. And I just set that aside. And that's it. That's all you have to do. I will take the skin off of this because I personally don't put skin in my chicken salad. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna get done doing this one here, and we're just gonna throw this in the refrigerator for a couple hours, and then we're gonna be on to I'll show you how to make the dressing. Guys, I am back to do the dressing and all the other ingredients that this recipe has to offer. Okay, so we're gonna run down this real quick. We have 1 cup of mayonnaise already in this bowl. I have 2 tablespoons of sour cream. I've got some pepper. I've got some salt. I have some dried cranberries over here. We have some onion powder over here. I have some parsley flakes here. Some paprika. I'll put all these the measurements down in the description below. We have a couple stalks of celery. We're looking for 1 cup of chopped up celery. I'll show you how I chop that up as well. Just you know, because you don't like a big piece, a small piece. But anyways, I'll show you how to do that. We have some fresh dill over here. We have some red grapes on both sides there. We're looking for about 1 cup there as well. I have a red onion that I'm going to be chopping up, and I wish that you could smell this because we have some toasted walnuts that I just got done toasting. Very simple. Just put your pan on medium high. You know, throw those in there. Get the oils to release a little bit and get them toasted on the edges, and that's beautiful. That adds a lot to this. So as you can see, there's a lot that goes into this, but I'll guarantee you guys with the rotisserie chicken that we just got done doing and chopping up, plus these ingredients, we're going to serve this on a really big croissant that I got from a local bakery this morning. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to show you guys how I cut up the celery. Okay, not a big deal. We're just taking the ends off here, just like that. Okay, that's it. That's all we got. You can take the leaves off if you want to, or you can actually chop these right up and put these in your salad. Okay, so that's what I do. Okay, just like that. And then when we get to the rib, all I do is just do this. It helps to have a very sharp knife. And then all we're going to do here now is we're just going to chop these up. Okay, so this is about how big that I cut them. Okay, I think that's pretty important, the texture of your salad as well. Okay, these last couple pieces. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same thing to this. Okay, make sure you wash your vegetables too, before I forget to say that. Okay, there we go. And the same thing with this one. Just take the rib. I think like when you do it in threes, a third, I think that works for me. If you want them bigger, make them bigger. Okay, again, we're looking for about 1 cup. Okay, so that's about, I'm going to say that is about a cup. Okay, so we're going to put this knife together or aside, and we're going to bring in our red onion. So what we did is we just cut, you have a root on this side of the onion, right? So we're saving that part, but we're cutting this end over here. So we just cut it down the center. That's really all this was. And we're only going to use about, I don't know, maybe 2 tablespoons of onion. You don't want it too oniony, or I don't want it too oniony. So that's what I do. I do about two tablespoons now. I'm going to change knives up here. I'm going to, hopefully you guys can, I'm actually cutting this backwards, so there's not going to be any speed involved in this at all. Okay, the reason why you hold the root part on is because it holds your onion together, right? So we're just going to do little cuts along this, okay? And all right, so usually I don't cut backwards, but that time I did. Now there's a big thing about, should you cut your onion in half or should you cut it in a third? You can if you want to, right? So if you don't cut it into a third, right, you're looking for a small dice. Look, okay, that's what you get, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you what happens now when we turn around and we cut this in half like this, right? And then one cut down. Now, can you see a difference? There's not. Might be a little bit difference, but it's really all the same. Okay, it does do a little bit, but it doesn't do all that much. Okay, so we're just going to do, like I said, a couple tablespoons. So we're just going to do a couple slices like that, and our onion's done. All right, so there's your onion and there's your celery for this recipe. Okay, let's get this dressing started. Okay, one more thing to cut up that I forgot. I have no idea how I forgot to do that. Are your grapes, okay? Very simple. All you do is I just cut them down like this. I turn them the opposite way and we break them into quarters, okay? I think that's the right size to have in this salad. So you're doing 1/2 and 1/2. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to finish cutting up the rest of these grapes and then I'll be back with you guys. So let's get on with doing the dressing for this salad, for this chicken salad now. Okay, so remember I said I had 1 cup of mayo. I use Hellmann's. You can use whatever you want to, whatever your taste is. And I also have 2 tablespoons of sour cream in here. I know that might sound a little weird, but that is what I put in it. All right, so here we go. We're going to add the dry ingredients, which is the paprika, the parsley flakes, and the onion powder. All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to add a pinch of pepper, and we're going to add a pinch of salt to get started, because I know I'm going to need some more. All right, so that's what we're going to do there. Now, we're just going to grab a whisk, and we're going to whisk. That's all we're going to do. So you're just going to whisk this until it's all incorporated. And I'm telling you, this is an outstanding dressing for this. Okay, just like that. All right, that's done. See, very simple. Now, always gotta taste your food. You hear me say it all the time, for salt and pepper. That's just so good. I mean, seriously, this is just a really, really good recipe. Okay, so it should cling to the whisk. It should be about that thick. Okay, all right, so we're gonna stick that aside. We're gonna go in the refrigerator and grab our chicken. It's nice and cold. Make sure this is cold before you start adding stuff to it, because you don't want the mayonnaise to melt down in this. Okay, that's why it's very important to have this chicken like this. Okay, So now what we're going to do, and again, you hear me say this stuff all the time, we're going to dump and run. Okay, so we're going to add, we're actually going to add a cup of our celery. Okay, so we're going to dump that in, and we're going to add, excuse me, we're going to add a cup of grapes as well. That's about a cup of grapes. Add a few more. Okay. Now we're going to add, it's that time of the day where my nose gets all plugged up. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of finely red chopped onion. Okay. And we're going to add the cranberries as well. And we're going to add some of these toasted walnuts. Okay. Now, the only thing left to do here is we're going to just add some fresh dill, freshen that up a little bit, and now, not and actually, now it's now. Okay. Now we're gonna add this dressing that we just made. I'm telling you guys, this stuff, dynamite. Absolute dynamite. Now you can leave this in the refrigerator for, you'll probably be good with 3 days, 3 to 4 days, okay? Now we toss. Now we toss. We toss. And we just keep tossing until this is all incorporated. And the sweetness from the red grapes and the cranberries and the crunchiness from the celery. Oh, it's fantastic. This is really a good recipe. Okay, and like I said, we're gonna serve this on a really great croissant tonight. Okay, so there we go. So I am back, and we let this chicken salad sit in the refrigerator for a short time to get cold. The longer you let this sit, the better. But for, I wasn't going to let it sit overnight and then continue the video. So I just put it in there for a little bit, let it get cold, let everything come together, and we're going to serve this on a croissant. Okay, so I told you that I had a really nice croissant from a local bakery. Look at this. Look at this monster. Huh? Wow. Okay, so that's what we're going to make this sandwich on. Okay, there's not much to it. I am going to use a small serrated knife to open this up and get through this. Okay. Just like that. Okay, look at that. Okay. Just want to be delicate with this because this is very delicate. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and push all this over here so it's a little bit neater because, well, it's the OCD. Okay, so here we go. Very simple. Plating this is extremely easy. Okay, we're not going to get crazy with it, but we are gonna fill this up. I don't want a lot pouring out the sides because I don't like to eat a sandwich and have a whole bunch of food that I have to pick up afterwards, right? But we're definitely going to put plenty in this sandwich, however. Okay, just like that. Just like that. All right. If you guys get a chance, make this. It's a really excellent sandwich. You're gonna love this. I guarantee you, if you like chicken salad, I mean, this might even be your go-to recipe. Okay, let's clean that up a little bit. We're gonna put the top on it, and we're just gonna cut it just like this. And this, guys, is how I would do a chicken salad. So if you guys like this recipe, yeah, there we go, just like that. I think that looks good. Okay, all right, so if you guys like this recipe, give this recipe a thumbs up. I urge you guys to try this. Like I say, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you like what you guys see, and I will be back with you guys next week for another fantastic video. Yeah, it's lunchtime. Very good.